you want to know what a true American hero looks like, then you don't have to look too far.
Heroes can come from anywhere. They can be your friends, maybe your neighbors, someone you went to school with, or someone you say hi to when you see them at the grocery store. Not all heroes get medals, but today a Spokane man by the name of Ty Michael Carter did, and he received it from the President of the United States. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Stephanie Vigil. Dan is off tonight. Well, Staff Sergeant Carter grew up right here in Spokane. He's a family man and he likes to spend time with his 3 children and his wife, Shannon. He spent years in the Marines and Army, serving everywhere from Seattle to Japan to Afghanistan, where he almost made the ultimate sacrifice. KHQ local news reporter Dylan Mullenhouse is live tonight in Washington, D.C. with the very latest on his story. Dylan?
Stephanie, good evening from Washington, D.C. Earlier at the White House here behind me, the president called Ty Carter's actions heroic and selfless before he hung the Medal of Honor around his neck. All in all, 8 American soldiers were killed on October 3rd, 2009, as 300 Taliban fighters descended on the base to fight against just 53 American soldiers.
When your back is against the wall, fear can be blinding. But sometimes courage comes at unlikely moments.
You don't let fear make your decisions for you.
We are ready! At 6 a.m. inside the walls of Joint-Base Lewis McChord,
Hicks to the left, march.
A routine day begins with physical training.
1, 2, 3.
But routine in life has no place on the field of battle.
Start doing crunches. Go.
For Staff Sergeant Ty Michael Carter.
If necessary, we'll put holes in paper or holes in the enemy.
In May of 2009, then Specialist Carter traveled to the doorstep of the enemy, stationed at the Nuristan province in Afghanistan.
In the military, your home is pretty much where your gear is, so my gear was either in a barracks or it was overseas or in Afghanistan for a while.
After a few months, his unit was moved to Camp Keating, a remote combat outpost in northeastern Afghanistan. From the beginning, the suicidal task to defend its indefensible location was obvious.
Tactically, it was the worst possible location that anybody could choose to be.
Situated in a low valley, American soldiers were easy targets for insurgents. October 3rd, 2009. Just before 6 a.m., shown in this video, a violent wake-up call for the 54 soldiers stationed at Camp Keating.
You hear the booms and the machine gun fire, and you get out of bed, and I still had my shorts and my tan t-shirt on, so I threw on my boots, my body armor, my helmet.
Through a hail of gunfire, Carter headed out the door to a gunner's post on a Humvee where he met fellow soldiers Justin Gallegos, Brad Larson, and Stephen Mace. The weight of the battle set in.
What woke me up was the look on Mace's face. Terror and determination all at once. Never saw a look like that before, even in the movies.
Running out of ammo, Carter left his post, headed back through the fire to the supply shed where he shot off the locks to the door, loaded up, and headed out.
In the open area, I remember running, seeing splashes all around me, and then changing my angles because I kept on getting slapped from side to side as explosives were going on.
Pinned down inside the Humvee, returning fire, they're hit with an RPG. Survival hinged on getting out. Gunfire killed Gallegos instantly and badly wounded Mace. The Humvee soon became the only option to live.
And around that time is when I see Mace crawling on his forearms, dragging his leg to where Gallegos was.
Carter tried convincing Larson he needed to get Mace.
I continued to argue it. You know, I can get to him, he's right there, I can save him, all that kind of stuff, he needs my help, and it was still no, and he finally says, you're no good to him, dead.
Waiting for the opportune moment, with Mace asking for help, Carter ran to him several yards away and carried him back to the Humvee. Carter and fellow soldiers eventually got Mace to the aid station, where medics began their work. Carter returned to the fight.
I had blood, Mace's blood all over my hands and arms from giving him first aid.
Reinforcements wouldn't come for another 6 hours. Carter survived, but would get grim news that night.
Saving means is, I guess, putting his soul to rest in a way. He died believing that he was going to go home. He received his last rites. He was around trusted friends and loved ones. And for a very religious person, that is the best saving that I could have done.
The guilt and post-traumatic stress Carter still feels has faded with time.
Look, she left us a little present.
He now finds strength in his family and wife Shannon at their 9-acre farm.
He needs support, and he needs people just to help him and guide him and give him a little push here, or, you know, but for the most part, it's just to hold his hand and be quiet.
Carter is at a desk now on Joint-Base Lewis McChord, a tough transition for this tested soldier. Pride is felt knowing his actions saved what lives he could that October day.
On a day where everything went so wrong, that how I reacted, I'm very proud of that.
Now, when we spoke to Carter last week, he talked very honestly and candidly about when he got word that he was going to receive the Medal of Honor. At first, he said he was wondering what it was going to do for himself and his own family, but then once the whole weight of the situation and the weight of the medal and what it really meant to receive it kind of set in, he said he wants to use it to bring awareness for veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress, something that he still deals with after that awful October day. Reporting live tonight from Washington, D.C., Dylan Wollenhouse, KHQ Local News.